Alright, so I'm going to show real quick how to re-cord your ATC70 Pullstart. So I took it apart already and got to the spindle with the spring. So this previous cord had snapped. You want to start just about, this is about 6 feet of good strong cord. And on the very end, you're going to tie a knot on it. And once you get everything else taken apart, you'll have access to this part of the pull start, and this should just come up. Give it a gentle pull up, and you just want to pat the spring back down in here so the spring stays in. I actually put a little grease on it, so I just took a little grease and put it around the surface that will rub on the bottom of this pull start carriage. Alright, so if you flip it around, you'll see inside of here that there's a little hole that comes through onto this side, and that's where you're going to feed this cord through. And you're going to end up leaving the knotted end for the last part that gets pulled through. So you're going to feed this through, side without the knot, and make sure it comes through, and you can just go ahead and pull it. You get it nice and snug in there. Tuck away any of the extra, or maybe cut it off if you want to. And then what I do is I look at it from the spring side, and I'm going to wind it counterclockwise. So I'm going to wind this up counterclockwise, looking at the spring at me. And do it about 80% of the way, making sure it's nice and tight. And then you'll notice up here on the, if I flip it around now, there's a little notch out, just enough for a piece of rope to fit in through it. So I'm going to find the left remaining bit and feed it through that hole. And now we're ready to put it back on its spindle. So now I'm going to push it down on the spindle, make sure it pops into place here. So now it's snapped in. And again, I want to make sure that that rope is coming in through this hole right here. And now what we're going to do next is turn it clockwise. You want that spring to catch the little part on this cover that's going to hold the spring, and then you're going to want to put tension on it by turning it maybe 2 or 3 full revolutions. And make sure that your cord stays in that hole that I showed you. So I'm going to keep turning it, so I'm building a bunch of tension on this spring. And that's probably about 2.5 turns, which is enough. You want to go 2.5 should do it. 2. And then once you get about 2.5 turns, you're going to find where the cord comes through. Line up your string in that recessed hole. Push it through, making sure that you're holding this in place and not letting it unwind, and feeding it through. So now you got a little extra, that looks about 8 inches or so, 8 to 10 inches left over. And it's actually going to give you some nice coil return. And before you release that, get your T-handle on and tie your knot. So now it's secured, and you can see how it's nice, got a lot of tension. It's going to pull that back really good for you. So a lot of times you get a pull start and it just really has no tension to pull it all the way in. Well, this way that I do it, you'll have plenty of tension to pull that back. Alright, that's it.